Good day. Thank you for joining us for today's news. If you find this helpful, please consider subscribing. We're here every day with calm, clear updates just for you.
In Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, an experienced gynecologist is stuck in a cleaning job, unable to practice medicine despite her years of training and experience. Hundreds of women are waiting for specialist care, with long delays in accessing gynecological service. Fernanda Morano, who moved from Brazil in 2018, has nearly a decade of experience. The process for overtrained doctors to have their qualifications recognized is not only costly, potentially exceeding $20,000, but also uncertain and complex. Many face barriers such as the lack of a visa pathway that allows them to study and work simultaneously. Health Minister Simeon Brown has announced new initiatives. However, challenges remain with many overtrained doctors leaving the country within 2 years due to a lack of support systems. With over 70% of New Zealand's medical workforce trained overseas, the country is missing a minds.
In a recent development, internal documents have revealed that the rewrite of New Zealand's school curriculum faced serious challenges, with managers even considering the use of artificial and no-legislation curriculum has caused confusion among educators and policymakers. Despite having published primary school subjects like maths and English, the ministry struggled to define what no legislation truly meant in a New Zealand context. This ambiguity has led to concerns from teachers' unions, and school report highlighted the complexity of the new curriculum. The Education Ministry has stated it is actively managing risks and working on a framework called Tame Te Ho to align with a no-legislation curriculum, but it has yet to provide a Cleveland suggested using AI to synthesize international curricula, though the ministry educators have called for greater clarity and transparency, with some comparing the process to building the plane as it was flying. As the ministry continues its work, the challenges of the curriculum rewrite serve as a reminder of the complexity.
Residents of Island Bay, Wellington, are living with a constant rumble of buses, a problem they've dubbed Busquakes. This noise and vibration have caused anxiety, disrupted sleep, and led to property damage. Local officials are working on solutions, including reviewing bus route impacts and speed limits.
Inflation in New Zealand has hit its highest level in over a year, with the annual rate reaching 2.7% in the June quarter. While this figure is a concern for many, especially those dealing with rising council rates and rents, it may not have a major impact on home loan rates or the official cash rate, OCR. The Reserve Bank is widely expected to cut the OCR again in August, which could lower short-term borrowing costs for homebuyers. Economists from ANZ, Kiwi Bank, and Westpac are all predicting further OCR cuts, though the timing and extent remain uncertain. Miles Wachman from ANZ says the data doesn't block further cuts and suggests they might come faster than expected. Meanwhile, Kiwi Bank believes the OCR should be cut to 2.5%, while Infometrics thinks the bank might stop at 3%. ASB economists expect the OCR to be cut to 3%. As the Reserve Bank continues to monitor inflation and the labor market, the path for home loan rates remains uncertain, but the expectation of further OCR cuts offers some relief for those looking to secure a mortgage in the coming months.
New Zealand has joined 25 other nations in calling for an immediate campaign in Gaza, highlighting the worsening humanitarian crisis. The joint statement from these countries emphasizes provide aid and secure the release of hostages as violence escalates in Deir el-Balah and across the Gaza Strip. International condemnation of Israel's aid delivery practices has intensified, with reports of civilians killed while seeking basic necessities. The situation remains dire, with families of hostages expressing deep concern over the risks posed by ongoing military operations.
A powerful international statement has been made by 25 countries, including New Zealand, the UK, and France, condemning Israel's actions in Gaza. The joint declaration calls for an immediate end to the war and criticizes Israel for its handling of horrifying. The signatories, which include the foreign ministers of numerous European nations, emphasize that Israel must comply with international law and allow the free flow of humanity to the region to the brink of famine, sparking global protests and even an international arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister 在 ongoing talks for a Kanto-T. No agreement has been reached, and the conflict continues to cause immense suffering for civilians.
On July the 21st, a military training jet crashed into a school in Dhaka, Bangladesh, killing at least 20 people and injuring over 170. The incident shocked the nation, as it was the deadliest aviation accident in the country in decades. The jet today Chinese-made F-7B, JI, reported Xtunian that serves Stutz Tenya. Many of the victims were young children who had just been released from class. Witnesses described the crash as a loud explosion, followed by a fire that engulfed the building. The pilot, who was on a routine training mission, tried to divert the plane but ultimately crashed in the school, and some volunteers rushed to donate. The interim government of Bangladesh declared a day of national mourning, while the country's leader, Muhammad Yunus, expressed profound sorrow over the tragedy. The crash has also drawn international attention, with India's Prime Minister expressing solidarity with Bangladesh and the handling of mechanical failures in military area. As the investigation continues, the nation mourns the lives lost and the families who have been irrevocably changed by the tragedy.
A vehicle has crashed into a bridge on SH1, halting all train services on the KPT line between Porirua and Wellington. The incident occurred early this morning, causing chaos for commuters who are now stranded. Metlink and Kiwiril are working to assess the damage and restore services. While efforts are underway to deploy replacement buses, availability is limited, leaving many passengers without immediate alternate safety and the need for better emergence. Some planners are urging patients and advising passengers to check for updates from transport route. The ongoing challenge.
A young man's life was tragically cut short in a violent street fight in Hamilton, and the community is now mourning his passing. Tigris Teperi, just 20 years old, was celebrating his 21st birthday when the incident occurred. The altercation, which began at a local event, escalated into chaos with knives and machetes. A white sedan was seen leaving the scene with a body, and police have launched a homicide investigation. The family has opened their hearts to the public, inviting friends and WKNOW to join in remembrance. The Tanjihanga is taking place in Gisborne, where loved ones gather to honor Tigris's life. This senseless act of violence has shocked the community and sparked calls for reflection on the dangers of escalating conflicts in public spaces.
In a heartfelt celebration of cultural pride and unity, hundreds of Cook Islanders from the outer islands have arrived in Rarotonga for the 60th anniversary of the nation's self-governance. This year's Timaifa Nui, running from July the 25th to August the 5th, marks a significant Nui. Emotional reunions and community efforts greeted the travelers as they arrived by sea, with the sound of manahiki drums echoing across the harbor. Despite logistical challenges, the community rallied to ensure a smooth arrival for the families who traveled from the northern islands of Te Pētō. Prime Minister Mark Brown expressed his joy at seeing the people return home, calling the event the start of a special celebration about the people for the people. The Cook Islands government has invested over $4.1 million to support the event. As the festivities continue, the Cook Islands is reminded of its resilience and cultural heritage. With thousands expected to join in the celebrations, the arrival of families, including young children and elders.
That's all for today's news. We appreciate your time. If you enjoyed this update, please consider subscribing. Your support helps us keep going.